Hey, what's up guys? Emo Cat Dad here, hanging out with you, bringing you yet another edition of Emo Cat Dad Listens. If you're new here, then what I do is every day of 2024, I vow to check out a new band or artist. I check out 4 songs from across their discography, give you my initial thoughts on the songs, give you my thoughts on the artist overall, and of course rank the 4 songs. And today is Sunday, so it's Ladies' Night. What is Ladies' Night? Well, I grew up going to Warped Tour, and let's just say representation during those times weren't the greatest, so I want to do my part. So every Sunday I check out a band or artist that features a woman in some capacity, which of course is the case with today's artist, Make Them Suffer. So what do I know about Make Them Suffer? Not a whole lot. I know the State of the Scene podcast, which I am a regular listener of, was going crazy about Doom Switch when it came out in 2022, I believe it was. It sounded kind of like a heavier version of metalcore from the little snippets I heard. So I'm kind of just expecting that, but I guess we're going to dive into these songs and find out. So let's get started with Make Them Suffer. All right, so I thought this was a newer band. It turns out they've been around for a while. In fact, their first album came out way back in the early 2010s. And it was called Never Bloom, and I listened to the title track from that album. So this is a deathcore song, not metalcore at all. And if you're new here, deathcore is muchos no bueno. The only thing worse is, I don't know, just throw out a random number, 6 minutes of random deathcore. Oh, look at that runtime. Over 6 minutes of this. All right, let's pull the compliment train into the station. Musically, there is a lot of cool things going on. And the clean vocals we get for about 10 seconds sound pretty good. All right, and the compliment train is now leaving the station. And let's get to our next track, Erase Me, off their most recent album, How to Survive a Funeral, released back in 2020. Oh, thank the Lord. The vocals are much better here, both the clean and unclean. We don't really get any deathcore vocals. Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's shorter. Tight 3.5 minutes. Perfect. The chorus is stupidly good with how catchy it is. We get a bleh in it, which I'm always a big fan of the blehs. If I had to point out a negative, it's that when the blast beats are there, they kind of get annoying because they feel so out of place. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the song otherwise. All right, I've already talked about this song a little bit, so let's dive right into the 2022 single Doom Switch. How is it possible for this song, which is just over 4 minutes, to have a longer intro than the 6-minute song? The deathcore vocals unfortunately make a return here. They're pretty minimal, thankfully, so I didn't bump into that too much. The lines where they say Doom Switch, I really dug a whole lot. Same with musically. Musically, this is probably the best song that I've heard yet. Okay, we get a hardcore section at the end that is just completely freaking cool. I like it a lot. But then we get a long outro. Whew. All right, let's wrap this up with their most recent single released last year called Ghost of Me. All right, we get some electronics right from the jump. I dig that quite a bit. Doom Switch also had quite a bit of electronics, but they're more at the forefront here. Once again, Make Them Suffer have a good chorus. On the last, well, everything but the first track basically had a super catchy chorus, so I appreciate that. Really, what's been setting these songs apart have been the verses, which unfortunately don't stand up as well. I will say, I think we get better verses on this than Doom Switch, but overall, I wish they brought some of the catchiness from the chorus into the verses. Oh my god, but what a great bridge we get in this track. It's long and satisfying. Big kudos for me. I'm a big bridge guy. Alright, so those were the 4 songs I checked out. Let's rank these bad boys. Starting with number 1, we're doing Erase Me. Vocally, this song did the most for me, and musically, it was still pretty strong, as it didn't have anything that super annoyed me other than those blast beats, but I can deal with some blast beats in the background more than a long intro or outro. At number 2, we're doing the most recent single, Ghost of Me. Once again, vocally, still pretty strong. Wasn't quite as good as Erase Me for myself personally, but still a lot of cool stuff. The bridge alone gets it here, and honestly, that could have made it challenge for number 1 if the verses could stand up as well as the Erase Me verses do. At 3, Doom Switch. This could have been in the talk with the first 2, but unfortunately I'm going to say this is a step down because of that intro and outro. And finally, at number 4, to no one's surprise, Never Bloom. Deathcore gonna deathcore, and that'll get you in last place every time. Alright, so overall my thoughts on Make Them Suffer is, when they deathcore, no. When they don't deathcore, I think that's pretty self-explanatory at this point into this review. I really dug the more recent sound. You guys let me know if they stick with that. They haven't released a full-length album in a while. I feel like that's probably coming. We've just gotten 2 standalone singles the last 2 years, so fingers crossed for more songs like those that blended a bunch of things. I hope they ditch the deathcore vocals. The unclean vocalist has been doing these singing kind of vocals. It's like a gritty singing, but I do dig it when it pops up, Ghost of Me. So I hope they go more towards that and just some straight up screams instead of the deathcore growls, because yeah, not a big fan of that. But if you're watching this video, you probably love deathcore and are going to tell me how wrong I am in the comments. So feel free to do that. Feel free to be like, no, Emo Cat Dad, you're wrong. Deathcore rules. You should listen to more of it. And if you want me to listen to more of it, just give me some suggestions below. I mean, I'm probably not going to enjoy it unless you got a super pop sensible deathcore band that you can think of. Please, 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 if you know of one, leave it in the comments, but I don't think you do. Alright guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. I appreciate you watching it to the bitter end. Like I just finished saying, leave me some comments of bands or artists you think I should be checking out. I'm doing one of these every day of 2024. And I appreciate you guys helping me out, giving me suggestions so that, you know, I can use your ideas instead of my own. We're on day 50 something or other, so there's a whole backlog. If you just stumbled upon this video, feel free to go back and peruse the previous Emo Cat Dad listens. But most importantly, I hope you stick around for the future. And the best way to do that is to simply do what my friends in Hawthorne Heights say, and that's cut my wrists and hit subscribe. Emo Cat Dad out. Till next time, I would like to hear you sad.